By the time I walked out of the studio after that first story with this lady in it, my phone was ringing. People wanted to help, but it was one good guy who led the charge. Meet a contractor hero who's fixing the wrongs caused by a couple of contractor zeros.
You know, it's sad that, people take advantage of our elderly.
His name is Tim Clark, and Tim and his crew are sawing, measuring, painting, and donating to build a brand new kitchen for a lady who was done wrong.
He's a great guy. All his people are great, and I really, really appreciate them.
A few months ago, Tim saw my story on Francine, a lady who'd paid Hatt Construction more than 10 grand to tear out her old kitchen and build her a new one. Well, they did the tearing out part and bailed. So how long have you been living like this?
About a year and a half.
She had no counters, no cupboards, a dishwasher just left in the middle of the floor, and the floor itself now just uneven subflooring.
It hurts. It hurts. I've been put in the hospital for a long period of time, twice already, because of the floor.
Yeah, I ripped off people years ago. I don't do that now. That's not my game.
The bad guy is Ballard, Darren Ballard. I first put him in the Hall of Shame last summer when Michelle, a lady from Dearborn Heights, hired a company run by Darren's wife Carolyn called Hatt Construction. She says Darren took several $1,000s from her and kept stalling. Plus, he did a bunch of cringe-worthy things like come to her home unannounced and walked right in.
Hello.
Michelle got a bad feeling.
Looked online and I saw that he had a record.
And he's got a big record.
Oh, huge. He's 23 pages.
Darren Ballard is a habitual offender with tons of felonies and misdemeanors. Soon I was hearing from more victims of Hatt Construction, like Steve, who gave the Ballards more than 10 grand and ended up living under tarps after Darren ripped off his siding and never came back.
I'm getting an ulcer already. I'm not even kidding you.
Marlene, who hired Darren to put in a bathroom, he never finished. So you took him to court and you won a judgment for how much?
$3,100.
A judgment he never paid. Lance, who said he was bamboozled out of his money when he paid to have his rental properties fixed up.
My head was hanging low. It was not a proud moment in my life.
Jennifer, who hired Darren to paint her house and got a half-painted house.
He's a very creepy person.
And Sterna, who paid Darren 10 grand for this dangerous mess.
Never cleaned up once.
And you have, how many children do you have?
4.
And on top of the bad jobs, the Ballards don't even have a contractor's license between them. Carolyn Ballard knew she and her convict husband were busted the minute I approached them.
I've seen this a million times. As soon as I saw you, I was like, oh crap.
But that didn't stop her from talking.
I understand your issue with his felonies, but if you look at my record and me being the owner of the company, and yeah, I'm young, maybe I didn't know I had to have a license.
This Ballard proved to be a blabbermouth. So why don't you get a contractor's license?
I don't exactly know how to go about that. I'm new to this, you know what I mean? I've only had this company for 3 years.
In January, Darren and Carolyn Ballard were arrested by Detective Merzwinski of Warren PD on one felony count of taking money under false pretenses, one misdemeanor count of false pretenses, and one count of being contractors without licenses. They've pled not guilty. And one of those charges stems from the job they started yet never completed at Francine's house. But thanks to Tim Clark of Clark Construction in Clinton Township, Francine's finally getting the work she paid the Ballards for almost 2 years ago done for free by real, licensed, insured, professional tradespeople. Has your faith in humanity come back a little bit?
Yes, definitely.
And now the job is finished, and it didn't cost Francine a dime.
We want to help people. We've been fortunate enough to be successful, and we want to give back to our community. I think that's what we're all supposed to do.
Yeah.
So we were able to do that, and I think it turned out great.
Tim ran the show, but lots of people who saw Francine's story pitched in.
Carpet guys did the floor as usual. Joe comes through. Thanks to Tom Fisher and KSI, they were, the ones that stepped in and donated the cabinetry. Ted and Sino at Preferred Marble, they donated the countertops. We had Steve from Stanzik Plumbing that donated the plumbing. Of course, my crew, we did all the work.
And even the City of Warren Building Department wanted to help out by not charging Tim for the permits. So, what do you think of your new kitchen now?
I love it.
And what do you think about Tim?
I love him too.
Now, I always tell people that want to donate their time, materials, and services to fix up houses after bad contractors have been there, be ready. This might set you back a little more than you think. And in this case, the damage done was pretty extensive. It took a lot longer, well, a little bit longer than expected, but Tim Clark got it done, and everyone is happy, especially Francine.